I'm Kristi Sandoval from Capital Goals, and I'm so happy to be here. If this is your first time in this channel, uh, you can see a lot of videos about couples and money because this is a serial of videos about that. And today I have a very special guest, Kristi and Paul. Present yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm Paul Millsap.
I'm Kristi Ray Millsap.
Okay. Where do you live in?
We live in, it's called Tom Bean, Texas. We're northeast of Dallas, Texas.
Okay, great.
Okay, great. So thank you for being here. I know you're a very special couple. I know Kristi and Paul in last March in a convention center in Massachusetts. And I was like, oh my God, who's there? They are amazing how you express from yourself. It's lovely how you live. So please tell us uh, or share with us your biggest financial challenge.
Yeah, I'll go first. When we got together, we both had been divorced, and we met at church, and I fell in love. Come on, like, come on. Yeah. But so anyway, we married. Of course, when you do that, you're bringing a lot of challenges and things, from the previous relationship a lot of times, into this relationship. So we really, really, really just talked about that a lot and just agreed that we weren't going to fight over that we were going to agree about it and we were going to work it out, and we're a team, and we're Team Millsap, and we're going to make it work. So we just don't argue about those things. And we had some pretty hard times there. Shortly after we got married, we had moved to Texas.
We've been married 6 years.
Been married 6 years now. So we moved to Texas, and her ex-husband decided to move from Alaska down to Texas, which started like the whole thing all over again, as far as legally, with custody, with child support, with all those things. It just starts it all over again. So
and you had your own
I was
custody.
I was paying child support. I had a lot of stuff going on then too. So yeah, we had to throw out money then for legal fees, and just kind of start this thing all over again. And it really put a drain on our finances. At one point, we budgeted $25 a week for groceries for 4 people.
Wow.
But,
Wow.
yeah, but God supplied for us. He did totally.
That's the only answer we have, is that God supplied for us.
People, it was kind of like in the Bible you read about the manna, and you read about
the raven.
The raven, bringing the prophet. That's exactly what happened to us. Our daughter worked at Starbucks, and she would, like, the food that they were gonna throw away, she'd bring it home.
Okay.
Our family at church
Yeah.
would bring us food.
They had pizza on Saturday night at church, so we went to Saturday night service because we got So it was just a real blessing, God just provided for us through that. And it was hard. It was very hard, but I don't think we had one single argument over it.
That was for about a year. It was really hard like that for about a year. And when it came to sort of the peak of that, we just both realized that even though it was a challenge, if we could get through that and still be gracious and loving to ourselves, to each other, to our children, and even to our former partners, that God was going to bless us for that. And he totally, absolutely did bless us through all of that. My ex-partner has passed away. And so we went through a whole year of grieving after he passed away. But because of the work we did with God, when he died, it actually fell on my shoulders to plan his funeral and to take care of all of his final affairs and do that for the children. And God strengthened me to do that because of all that I had gone through, and because of the way that God supported me and I drew closer to him. I actually had all the emotional strength I needed to go through and do all of that, for the family.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So your faith is so strong.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, that definitely built our faith, and like she said, we prayed, for our ex spouses, that God would bless them, and actually had opportunity to talk. I talked to her ex husband several times, and just told him, dude, I don't want to take these kids away from you. There's no use in us fighting over this stuff. We're spending money on lawyers that we could be spending on these kids. So let's just, get together and collaborate. And that's what we ended up doing. We ended up both firing our attorneys and just settling ourselves. Came to an agreeable, solution. But I will tell you, I'll be honest, when I first started this process of praying for
Our former
our former partners, they were like still pouring it on us.
Yes.
It
Sure.
wasn't like peace. It was at a time of war, but we were praying for peace. And it was hard at first. I mean, I'm like, bless my.
Of
We had
course.
to make the
Of course.
changes up here. Yeah, we really had to make the changes up here first.
Sure.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Was what we thought about it and what we said about it.
And it just God just really changed our hearts, I think, too, and just put compassion, there. Both of us left, our former partners, and I had compassion on that. What that must be like, when you don't want it, and somebody is going, no, we're doing this. So obviously, they're going to lash out in anger, and I just understood that, and just basically, my sister-in-law said something to me one time. I was like, why do I always have to take the high road? And she said, because you're capable, because God's given you that ability to do that. So when she said that to me, and there were several other things that were said and done, and I just realized that, yeah, I have to do that. I have to, for everybody's sake, sometimes you have to be the peacemaker, and it's not easy.
Sure.
And it brought about that, I can just tell you, that brought that peace, just brought about the blessings of God, and God has just poured out blessings, on us, just over and over and over and over. After we got to that point, it was a major meltdown at one point. Like literally, I'm like, God, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Yes.
I'm trying to do everything right. I'm doing what your word says and giving tithe and doing all these things, but it's just not working out. And he just spoke to me so clearly that I just need you to do this for a little while, and I'll take care of it. And boy, I tell you what, nobody pays back like he does.
Thank God. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. But
So in the way that you survive of this, how is the biggest learn about yourself?
I think for me, really, we made a partnership about money, and we really had to open up our communication about money. We really had to be very clear, and because the margin was so tight,
Yes.
it's like sometimes when you're in a partnership and you share finances, you might have a threshold for how much I can spend and not have to talk about it with my partner ahead of time.
Yes.
But for us at that time, that margin was pennies.
Yes.
It was literally pennies. And so every conversation was about, okay, what do we think this purchase is necessary? Play the long game, right? We're looking at the big picture. What else can we do? What other options are there? Do we need to buy it now? Is it something that can wait? And we just had to go through and collaborate together. We had to bring both of our creative minds into solving every single purchase. every purchase.
And also,
And
your kids are involved because they're like big.
yes, and it was challenging because we still had kids at home, and there was a lot of challenge with relationships
Yeah.
between their dad and them,
Yes.
and some violence and authorities and all of these things, adding all this emotional pressure
Yes.
onto everything. So we were really honest with the kids, but we try to be careful and not put pressure on the kids, but be very honest about things. And one of the most important things we learned was we never said we can't afford it. We never said we can't afford it. We said we're not choosing to use our resources in that way right now.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a
Just
good
to try
conversation.
not to give them that mentality, like, somehow there's not enough. No, there is. And for right now, we're using our resources on this for now.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's great. Great conversation.
Yes.
The great mentality is
So
yeah.
positive. So positive because you didn't say like, oh, we don't have, we're poor, or no. Right now, our resources. This is great. Yes.
Well, just like the deal at church, I mean, we didn't make a big deal about that. Both of us were like, it kind of like we just decided to go on Saturday night because it worked out really good for our schedule. And we were like actually helping at another church. Their pastor was leaving, and they were transitioning, so we were we're helping with that, helping make that a little bit smoother. And it was very hard. It definitely, we were pouring out. We weren't getting poured in at that church. So we found another church that we could go to on Saturday night where we could receive. So we're big proponents. If you don't have it, you can't give it. So we look where, we feed ourselves a lot. We go see where we can, receive so that we can pour it out. So this church, we would just went, hey, they have Saturday night. Let's go check it out. It doesn't interfere with what we're doing over here. So let's go check that out, and we did, and we loved the church. We got what we needed along with pizza. It was like added bonus.
Yeah.
Pizza was so important.
You don't have to buy dinner on Saturday night.
Well, okay, so here's the funny part, right? So the first time we went, we didn't know.
No,
We
it's
didn't know about the pizza.
like, oh,
Uh-huh.
We spent our last $5
we did,
to buy pizza
we did.
Uh-huh.
before we went to church.
Yeah.
And we ate pizza in a parking lot, and then we went into church and they had pizza. And we said, we didn't trust God this time.
Yes.
We put our own effort there because we didn't trust God. And if we had just said, let's just go and let's just trust, we would have had that, that experience of, oh, look at what God's done for us. And so it taught us a lesson. It taught us a lesson not to get in front of God
I'd get in front of
and
him.
try to just be a little more trusting about it and be more patient about it.
What was really neat too is the pastor said, like, I think that first Saturday that we were there, he said, a lot of people ask, because I asked, what, do we need to, put in the till for that? And they're like, no, 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 no. And then pastor like got up and he said, I know a lot of y'all, want to help pay for the pizza. He goes, but does your mama charge you to come eat at her house? He said, this is home. You don't pay to eat here.
Oh,
Wow.
So we're like, took the pressure off,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
great.
Great.
Smart man.
Yes.
Him, not me. Him.
Of course, of course. So I think that you solve this challenging by the faith of God.
Yes,
Is that
Yep.
right?
that's it.
I tell my guys, all my guys, that you can do it in your own, and you might get some success, or you can do it God's way and get supernatural results.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, that's right.
Of course.
Okay.
So-
So, no, go ahead.
So you have a recommendation for other couples they're struggling too, so they're going to listen this and maybe something is going to keep in their heart. So
Yeah.
your recommendation for for other couples?
I think that one of the important things that we brought into this marriage that we work actually kind of hard to maintain is being a team. So we are always on the same side, and the problem is over there. He's not my enemy. He's never ever my enemy. He's my partner. The problem is what I'm trying to deal with, and we're working together. We don't let it come between us and put us at odds with each other. And he really supports what I want to do that makes me happy, and I support him and what he wants to do that makes him happy.
Yeah.
So, having those pieces together, it's like, well, it's kind of like a triangle, right? With God at the top,
Okay.
and we're both kind of at the bottom. And the closer that we get to God, the closer we get to each other. And
Right.
so we always, both of us, we put God first in everything we do. We try to put God first. And we take care of ourselves, right? I don't make, it's not his responsibility to take care of me. It's my responsibility to take care of me, and vice versa. And then, so it's God and then the self, and then he's next. He's my next priority. He comes before the children.
Wow.
Yes.
He comes before the children.
Wow.
Great recommendation.
Great
And
recommendation.
great couple. It's an honor to be here with you.
Yes, it's an honor to be
It's an honor to be with you all and have this opportunity to share.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We are going to let you go, guys. Do you want to add something else?
Yeah, just what an honor it is to be here on this. I've been to Panama, Ecuador. I actually went to Galapagos Islands on missions trips, and I just absolutely fell in love with the people. And I wanted to just adopt, if a lot of Americans would adopt that, the love for your family, the love for God, and just the priorities just seem to be right, and I learned a lot. I went down there to help, but I felt like I came back like changed. And it's kind of hard when you do that, because you come back to America and you see, some spoiled people, and you're like, come on, you guys, like, really suck it up, buttercup, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just absolutely love, and your spirit when we went to Boston, just, oh my gosh, we just fell in love with you, because you just radiate.
You are just a beautiful, beautiful soul, my dear. And
Yes.
thank you so much for doing this. It's such a service, and we just appreciate that we got to be in it at all, just a little part. We love it. Thank you so much.
And it was awesome to meet you, Etsy, right? Etsy?
Atsa. Yeah.
That's that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to share your social media, something, so the people
So
can
we do have a Facebook fan page, and it's called La Vida Deseo, and it's where we have just put things about what we're doing, because we have I guess you call them supplements.
Yeah.
We take certain supplements, and it's really made a huge difference for us as far as our quality of life. And so we just love to tell other people, because it might make a difference for them. There's a lot of things that we've tried that haven't really worked very well, but this actually really worked for us. And so if anybody's, looking for something that maybe, they have a little bit of pain, like I have back pain. And so this is something that's really helped me with my back pain when other things just don't work that well for me. And they're natural supplements. And so I think I sent you the link for it, but it's La Vida Deseo. Yeah. And so that's one place that they can find us on social media.
Okay.
Great.
So great. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy. I'm really, really so happy that we made it. So thank you all for watching this, and give us a comment. And that's it. Thank you so much.
We'll meet you in Corpus Christi.
That's right. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.